All right, time to go. All right, this dude was amazing. Now, I'm always searching for some good deals on Kijiji, and I found this iPhone 5C for $25. Pretty good price. Yes, it is an older iPhone, but I've watched some videos about this iPhone 5C working in 2020, and I thought, well, I'll give it a try. And anyway, I'll probably just be flipping this and reselling it, hopefully for a little bit of a profit. I'll tell you what it gave me. The phone, which is very cracked. That's what he was selling. $20. Then what he said was, you want a BlackBerry? I'll see what it's like. But yeah, when I see you next, I'm going to be repairing this iPhone. And as you can see, this thing is pretty cracked up. So this is the 5C A1532 8GB. Although the screen is really cracked, the phone functions perfectly. The battery life is pretty reasonable, and I think this is definitely worth it to fix up. Now this screen, a Sanka Seiko, I think that's what it is, came really well packaged, came with the tools. They're pretty cheap, but I decided to use these tools for the restoration. And there's the screen with the protective backing. Does not come with the home button or the front camera and sensors or earpiece, so those things are gotta transfer over. I purchased these cheap screens before, and for me, they seem to work just fine. Now the replacement of this screen is actually pretty easy. You just have to take the pentalobe screws out and attach a suction cup onto the screen closest to the home button, pry it up, and use the guitar pick tool to help lift up the screen. You should disconnect the battery, so you just have to take that cover plate off, disconnect the battery, and then you're safe to proceed. It's just like working on a computer. Usually if you're going to work on it, you're going to unplug it so there's no power going to the system. You go up and remove this plate that's covering the other ribbon cables, and you just have to be careful because the screws are 3 different sizes. There's 2 small ones, but then there's one medium-sized one, and then the longer screw. That longer screw isn't even magnetic, so it makes it a little bit harder to take out. Once that's up, you just disconnect the 3 ribbon cables. Now I just work on taking out most of the screws. Make sure that you do place them in the proper sequence so that you know how to put them back, because they are of different lengths. And this metal cover just pops off, the earpiece speaker comes off, and it's a little bit scary, but prying it up from this side works really well with a plastic tool. There's a little proximity sensor, or one of the sensors there, that need to pop up, and you do not need to peel this off, but I decided to do that just to get access and install it a little bit easier. I'll take the metal backing plate off, and the home button again will peel out, and just make sure you don't rip it, but it is reasonably sturdy. We'll peel off the backing, and we're ready to reinstall all the components. When you're reassembling everything, it's not that easy. The home button is fairly straightforward to put through, but the front camera and sensors, that takes a bit of time. Once I'm done that, I do not put the covers on yet until I test out the phone, make sure the screen, I got the cables in properly. Now at this point the home button won't work because it needs to be attached to the body of the phone in order for the connections to be completed. But I'm satisfied that the screen works, so I just put it back together again. I just make sure everything works, especially the cameras, the rear-facing camera, video, and front-facing camera. Some may ask, why am I bothering with a phone that is going on 8 years old now? If you've been following me, you'll know that I'm one of the cheapest people alive, always looking for things that are of great value and can still be usable. In 2021, and with a phone that is running iOS 10.3.3, everything works surprisingly well, as long as you set your expectations to a realistic level. For example, I'm not going to expect the cameras to be as good as my newer Pixel 3a. You can see a comparison between the two. The 5C 8 megapixel camera doesn't have the detail compared to the Pixel. You don't even have to pixel peep to see the difference. However, it's reasonable, and the cameras are perfect for something like FaceTime or Zoom. Now, Safari loads things a little bit slower, apps are a little bit slower to open, but at least it still plays Ladybug Adventure YouTube videos without much issue. I really think it's perfect for someone who wants a compact phone, and especially an iPhone. Or perhaps somebody wants it for their younger child, as breaking something as cheap as this really isn't a huge deal. For me, I'm going to be flipping this phone. I hope to make a little profit. I bought this for $20 and the replacement screen was around $25, but with the discount I had on Amazon, I got it for about $8, so a total of $28. And in fact, while editing this video, I was able to get a buyer for $80. A nice tidy 52 buckaroos in my pocket. For me, buying a brand new phone isn't always necessary. If I can find a phone with a broken screen, I can usually get it at a decent discount, and the replacement screens for some of the older phones are quite cheap. So go out there, save some money. Time for the joke of the day. Singing in the shower is all fun and games until you get a little shampoo in your mouth. Then it's a soap opera. Wah, wah, wah. Well, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you in the next Ladybug Adventure.